here to help us find missing sides of a triangle or help us determine if something is a triangle. So Pythagorean Theorem is a very common formula that you would have learned last year. And the Pythagorean Theorem states that in a right triangle, the square of the triangle's hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs. So that gives the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The key piece of information is highlighted in there that says right. Pythagorean theorem only works if you have a right triangle. A right triangle has a 90-degree angle. So what we want to do is find the length of each of those missing pieces. So in this example 1, the missing piece is the hypotenuse, or side C up here. So what we're going to do is plug into A and B. So we'll say A is 8, B is 15, and we're looking for C. So that's 8 squared plus 15 squared equals C squared. So 8 squared is 64. 15 squared is 225. So you get 289. And then to get the solution set, you take the square root of that. Square root of 289 is 17. The units on that triangle are in inches. So we have C equals 17 inches. In example 2, we're still looking for the hypotenuse again. So we'll say 14 squared plus 25 squared equals C squared. 14 squared is 196. 25 squared is 625. Add them together. You get 821. Take the square root of that. And we get 28.653 meters. Units are really important in this last section. The units will be worth 1 point on that chapter test, so you get a point for putting the correct unit down. Now this next example is a little bit trickier. We're given C, we're given B. What we don't know is A. So we have A squared plus 12 squared equals 20 squared. So we're going to solve for A squared by subtracting. So first we get 12 squared is 144. 20 squared is 400. So you have 12 squared equals 144, 20 squared equals 400. So then you subtract 144 from both sides. And we get 256. Take the square root of that. And we get A is equal to 16 meters. Let's try that one more time. So again, this time we're missing side B. So we're given A and we're given C. So it's 13 squared plus B squared equals 35 squared. And then what you are going to do is square both numbers. So 13 squared is 169 plus B squared, and 35 squared is 1225. Subtract from both sides. And you get 1056. Square root both sides. And you get 32.496 feet. Is everybody okay with this? Pretty straightforward, plugging and chugging using the Pythagorean Theorem. The second part of lesson 7 is the converse of the Pythagorean Theorem. The converse states that if the sides of a triangle have lengths A, B, and C, then C squared equals A squared plus B squared is a right triangle. So basically what that's saying is if the Pythagorean theorem is true, then you have a right triangle. So if the Pythagorean theorem is true, then you have a right triangle. So you're given sides 7, 12, and 18. When you're given 3 side numbers, you need to make sure that you always make C the largest of the 3 numbers. So C is always the largest of the 3 numbers. So you're determining if 7 squared plus 12 squared equals 18 squared. So is 49 plus 144 equal to 18 squared, which is 324? And the answer is no. Yeah. They're not equal, so it's not a right triangle. So what that means is it could be a triangle, it's just not a triangle with a 90-degree angle. Once again, 26 is the longest length. So you do 10 squared plus 24 squared equals 26 squared. So that's 100 plus 576 equals 676 So we get 6, 7, 6 equals 6, 7, 6. So that means that this is a right triangle. Okay, so that's it. That is the last lesson for chapter 0. So what that means is we're going to review. Your homework tonight is in the book. You are completing page, maybe I didn't type it down there. You're in the book. You're on page I believe 18. Yep. Page P18, 1 to 17. And then for you, those of you that want to know, your chapter 0 review problems are up on the board. That will be your next day's assignment. So if you want to write it down now and not have to find it on Fusion, the chapter 0 review problems is what we are doing in class tomorrow. So during class time tomorrow, when I have the B kids,